We can't have done it.
Has,
What like a high, like
that's
a
never happened.
euphoria?
Like you just randomly felt like you were gonna come up.
Like a
Yeah,
midlife
yeah,
euphoria. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure,
Like just
for
out of
sure.
nowhere. I don't know why I had to bring that up, but I thought it was strange.
Sometimes like even like waking up, and you know how people talk about when you wake up, you step into the sun, you open
Mm,
your eyes, and you kind of reset your circadian rhythm.
mm.
I've gotten like a quote unquote sugar rush. It's like a, I guess, dopamine or serotonin
Yeah.
boost from it. But I know what you mean.
Nothing in that moment
Like
could have
horny
like
little.
yeah, like nothing in that moment could have like ruined me, even though we were like the traffic was
Right.
insane.
Right.
You know, I was just like, okay, I'm at
So you had a full on nut right
I'm
before
at
the episode.
beyond 2018 right now.
Okay, I like that. That's good. I
Yeah,
feel like that's good.
but yeah, dude. I feel like it's been forever.
I know.
Like every time, even though we've seen each other last year, I feel like every time we see each other, it's like decades.
I know. But I also feel like I used to say this to my like closer friends is you never feel obligated to upkeep the friendship.
Right.
Like I don't have to check up on anyone. But
No.
when we do, like, you know, we finally got this coordinated, and it's we just pick up where we left off, you know?
Yeah,
Which I like. I
we
think that's
actually
cool.
finally did because you fumbled it quite a few times.
Yeah, I did. I did. I'll admit I fumbled scheduling this. Indeed, quite a few
That's
times
okay.
for sure.
Cheers.
Cheers, my friend.
I'm happy to have you on.
Yeah, yeah.
This this new journey, this new podcast. It's like it's very different from music.
Yeah.
I feel more of a sense of satisfaction with what I'm doing
Yeah. That's it.
in podcasting in comparison to when I was managing
Yeah.
or working for the clubs and doing whatever I was doing. So it's like it's different to be in a realm of creativity and space with you rather than because we spent a lot of time working in music together and
Yeah.
doing things together. You
Yeah.
were my very first mentor, so I attribute a lot of actually any success, almost 90% of it,
Damn.
started with you.
Damn. I know this conversation kind of half started before we started rolling, but I was like, damn, I didn't remember that way. Not in
Yeah.
a bad way. I remember just kind of just seeing eye to eye, being, you know, whatever, helping each other out, doing things in various aspects of life.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it might be different from your, experience because I think in the realm of life that you were in at the time, you were kind of like the go-to. Maybe you don't see it like that,
Sure.
but you're
Yeah.
kind of already established. And then at the time, I wasn't, so I was like trying to be a sponge and kind of leech on to anything that you would teach me.
Yeah. Sponge all life long, baby. Sounds
I'm
corny
still,
as hell, but
I'm still sponging at this point,
yeah, yeah. Well, I actually I appreciate that. I didn't really know to revisit that time in that context, so I actually do appreciate that.
Yeah, I felt like I was just a child at that point. I think even when we met, I wasn't 21.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow, it's been a long time then. It's been a decade.
We met it was Avalon. It was in the alleyway of Avalon, and I was with Josh. And I remember we were just talking, and Josh, I don't even think you guys were working together yet. And then you kind of just turned to me and you're like, "What's up, man? Do you have a cigarette?" And I was like, "Dude, I didn't smoke cigarettes. I didn't do drugs. I didn't drink. Because at the time I was under 21. So yeah, I mean, I was able to find my way into the club somehow because, that was just my way. I just wanted to get introduced to music somehow. And then you were the guy that was just like, do you have a cigarette?"
You know what? You know what's crazy is just today, I just thought about, because I've been like proactively trying to smoke less and then eventually not smoke. It's been too long. And I just had this moment. I was just going about my day at home, and I was like, yeah, I just smoked a cigarette. Yeah, I did smoke a cigarette today. And I was like, cigarettes have legitimately changed the course of my life, if not just in a social way, like in a critical and functional way. The people I've met in smoking patios have been pretty instrumental. And the narrative against smoking is pretty bleak. Well, you do get yourself killed from doing it, but it's like the value for someone like myself to have these like kind of, be it a fleeting conversation or a life altering business relationship or something like that, it's been what's the word? Like I can't even count it. Like, you know.
The risk to reward ratio is just it
Yeah,
seems to be
exactly.
better.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I didn't know that was the nexus of us meeting, but
Yeah.
it checks out.
Yeah, and
It
then
does
from
check
there it was just I accomplished a lot. Like I know I like to think back on it, and for me, I always tell people like I didn't leave music because I wasn't doing anything, you know, or things weren't going right. I kind of left music because, you know, as I got older, it just like the self-satisfying feeling it wasn't there for me.
Yeah.
But like I accomplished a lot in what I would consider a short amount of time. And every time I look back on it, I just think like, damn, there's like a handful of people that contributed to that, and like one of the number one contributors was you.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah,
Feels nice.
I remember every
Thanks
time I
for
brought an
reminding me.
idea to the table, you were like, "There's never a wrong idea." You told me this. You're like, "There's never a wrong idea. We just have to figure out how to get it done."
Yeah.
And
I would say something like that for sure.
that's what we did. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Wow. That feels like something I would say today
Yeah.
still. Shit. Well, that is a nice reminder. So
Well.
I needed that. Thank you.
But
Yeah.
let's kind of talk about your success and just everything that you've created, everything recently. If you want to start off from the beginning, I know you probably told the story for so many years, but
I kind of tweak it in retrospect as time goes on, but
Mm.
more or less it's the same. I mean, you're right. It is weird telling it to someone who already knows. I'm kind of like speaking to a imagined audience through the mic, but it's about to be 11 years doing this. So that's something I don't tell because that's the first time, you know. But I think right around 2015, like me and quote unquote the boys, and the boys I'll say in a second, we were just kind of bored with our status quo, meaning like everyone was working a desk job. It was a cool company. Like we were dealing with Steve Aoki, Coachella, Swedish House, like cool entities. It wasn't like mind-numbingly boring or anything. But you know, you kind of get that like mid-20s itch that you want your own space and you want to push a little harder to make something like that happen, right? So Space Yacht became a thing. The thing that bonded me, Rami, London Bridge, and Ollie at the time was house music. We had, me and Ollie had thrown parties in college. Rami was a little older, but he wanted to DJ, and we all liked house music at the time. We still do. We were, I think at that era, it was kind of like the same few people rinse and repeat at the nightclubs. It was a really good time to be in nightlife. And every generation, you kind of have that classic hit the plateau. What happens after the plateau? I think that's where we were at the moment. So, we started a little tiny thing. The classic thing is like the first night you invite everyone and their moms, indiscriminately, right? And it's a great showcase of the combined three people's Rolodexes. And so, off the first event high, and I'm sure everyone understands this, like your first event oftentimes is one of the most magical or the best. And off of that high, I think the venue owner that we had been working with was like, you got to do this every week. And we did it. And so we ended up doing it happened to be a Tuesday for whatever reason. It ended up being a Tuesday every week for 10 years. And from 24 to 34, I never like set out to do anything for 10 years like that, right? I mean, I was like make a steady income or figure out my life for 10 years, that's for sure. But to do something like Space Yacht, that's now, a record label, merchandising, a little bit of publishing, but also, of course, the tried and true, well, not tried and true, but our like DNA events. I didn't have a plan to do this for 10 years, but along the way, I definitely like learned how to run a business, like what it means to be tax compliant and all that stuff. Definitely learned almost everything the hard way.
right.
Getting yelled at by TMs was like my, almost daily. So I feel like I can say, we're a music company now.
Yeah.
I actually do. But for the longest time I I guess it's imposter syndrome where like you don't feel qualified saying that you're a music entrepreneur or a music company, but I think I can now. But that doesn't mean I'm coasting. Like there's so much more evolution I want to like actuate, I guess the word is. Yeah. So here we are, 11 years. We're about to do the 11th year anniversary. Right around COVID, we were like, I remember saying this. I was like, yo, literally overnight, our entire existence evaporated. We don't have any, like if you're in like economics or accounting, you'll call like, you have like an intangible asset that's like hype or interest because you throw cool parties. Great, but like you don't have an asset sheet. You don't have like anything worth selling other than like maybe if you own some CDJs or something, right? So we were like, we should go own stuff. And either we go own a parking lot or own a nightclub or try to figure out how to own one, or what we felt we did a little better was like we should go keep helping artists do what they do. You know, I failed to mention our DNA was always like, you know, put artists on a little earlier than others would, kind of at that like early adopter part of their career. And we were like, well, just because we can't have shows doesn't mean we don't get it. Like we can do this in other ways. We will have to learn how to be a label, but as part of that, you own these licenses, you own these pieces of intellectual property, and now like you can actually walk into a room to a traditional business person and say like, hey, I own something. Like we actually have tangible assets, even though it's intellectual property. And it's not just like the size of your email list or like the goodwill attached to the Space Yacht Events trademark. So it did feel good. I think it was a very right choice. And I think that's probably going to like lead us into the next, wow, it feels so weird to say this, but lead this into the next 10 years of what Space Yacht could be. I've actually started to say this is like Space Yacht is a label. I used to say for the past 10 years, like Space Yacht is an event that I throw, but now it's like a label, and we throw events, and we do other things. We help artists, we engage in cool activities. So I think that's where we're at.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's kind of what you're referring to is more like the intangibles were the events when suddenly the world stopped. You're just like, we don't have any events anymore. So
yeah,
what do we really own?
Yeah. That was I don't know how long that was. It was a painful fever dream.
It feels like years, right? But like in all reality, it was only a year.
Yeah. I know talking about the pandemic is not the most, you know, pussy wedding topic by now. You know what I mean?
I think people are over it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a crazy time for everybody. And when I look back on it now, I'm just like, we were all just kind of adjusting. Yeah.
But quick question. Is the chair squeaking getting picked up? Zeus?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm going to pull this mic up, actually. How do I do that? I'm kind of like, I find... Huh? It's not staying. Yeah, can you come help me out?
Yeah.
Cool. Here, let's top up a little bit.
Más, more.
Yeah. How's your Spanish?
It's good. I've been trying to speak it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But more so than anything, I can understand it a lot.
Yeah.
And all of my girlfriends have been Latina, so...
Respect.
Yeah, so like, you know, they speak a lot of Spanish.
Yeah.
It's always funny too because people will talk shit. They used to talk shit about me a lot, whether I worked with them or just in general. They would talk like I can pick up Spanish in public areas, and they would talk about me in Spanish. I'd be like, "Damn, dude, you know I can understand you, right?"
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Well, like, is it more like fool doesn't speak Spanish or?
Yeah.
Like this clown.
Yeah, this clown doesn't speak Spanish. I'm like, dude, like, I can understand everything that you're saying.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I'm sorry. I was like, no, you meant it. It's all right.
Oh my
like,
God, that's funny.
But yeah, the story of Space Yacht to me is kind of, it's interesting because in just the way, like my perspective, I feel like I told you earlier, like we were talking earlier, I feel like Space Yacht will never die.
Oh, fuck, I hope so.
And
I haven't thought about it, but I hope so.
And the way that I think about it is like Space Yacht will never die. It will just evolve into something else.
I could see that. I appreciate that too. I could definitely see that.
So now, like when you speak about Space Yacht being a label, the next thing you know, Space Yacht will be an agency, you know, or Space Yacht could be an entity that's way bigger than an agency.
Yeah.
It's, an enterprise.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
How do you see it evolving just in the next 10 years? Because we're already at 11.
Yeah. I think I stand by the if not like we call it the intellectual property business. I mean, it exists to the public as a label and like kind of like a publishing entity, mainly a label. But internally we don't. Yeah, it's a label, but like you're helping people put intellectual property out, manage it, put it in the right places, and I could see it being like a different. I could see it being like podcasts about the lifestyle, about like people who like to go out, and that definitely embodies the energy of Space Yacht. Like we sometimes like to brainstorm like what does it mean in 2025 or 2026 to be like someone in the Space Yacht universe, right? And it kind of changes a little bit every year, but it's mainly hovering. It mainly hovers around the concept of like the joy of going out. Right. People like to joke about, not joke, but like people like to lament about how Gen Z doesn't drink, and like, whatever. But like people go out and they have fun, and that's going to change. And I could be the nightclub guy who mourns like, oh, people are like, clubs are dead. They're drinking coffee at raves now. Or like, Gen Z doesn't drink, like, sky is falling. I mean, it's like, it's not productive. You know what I mean? So it's on us to figure out how to curate the joy of someone who's 21 at the moment who likes to go out.
Yeah.
Are we good at it? I'm not. I make no claim, but like, it's our job to figure that out. If we're gonna do this another 10 years, we have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Right. So I do think that's gonna be like the DNA of it, and the label is gonna be like, what's the sound of someone who likes to do that? What's the visual or music video or short movie attached to that energy? Don't know yet. We'll figure it out. It'll probably change. The target probably moves as time goes on, like you're saying. It evolves. I hope that answers the question.
It does.
Yeah.
And I think Space Yacht in general for me has always just kind of embodied the art of having fun, right?
Yeah.
And you have the whole brand attached to it. It was on a Tuesday night for 10 years.
I know.
You guys always brought the best guests, and even when they weren't the most notable names, it was always the best parties.
Yeah.
And then to top it all off, you guys had the pizza. And I kid you not, there was a lot of people that would tell me they came to Space Yacht just to eat pizza. And they're like, well,
That's
we
the
didn't
thing.
eat before this, but now we're drunk, and now we're hoping to get a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
When I would hand out pizza sometimes at the parties,
Yeah,
they
you
would tell
definitely
me. I've heard those stories. Like, it was more than not. They're like, oh yeah, like, I'm about to black out. This pizza saved me.
Yeah.
You know?
That is a real anecdote for sure. That's real.
Have you heard that one?
Yeah, I mean, that's even
Yeah.
happened to me. It's like I need to go call in pizza now. Like,
I'm about to black out. I need some pizza.
yeah. Wow, alcoholism, an era. No, that trend started. I was talking about that cool little social media company. We basically worked on like the social media. It was Facebook and Vine at the time.
Wow.
What an era, right?
Yeah.
For brands like Coachella, and I mean, I feel like I can disclose this, like 10 plus years. It's fine. Yeah.
Right.
Like Swedish House, like even The Weeknd for a hot second. But things like that. It was a cool place to work, but it didn't feel like my own. Not in a bad way, but I just wanted a place that truly felt like my own. And Twitter was a digital space for me. And I was like, fuck it. I'm going to create this experiment to get my first 1,000 followers. I was like a totally identityless person online at the time. Social media was still pretty new. Like this wave of social media was still pretty new. And I created this Pizza Man account, and like I rethemed all the things, like the live tweets of life. Like I reframed to like a pizza analogy, or like a little slutty little dirty little pizza joke. Kind of like a slice of life vibes.
Yeah.
And got to my first 1,000 followers. So it kind of like baked into my digital footprint for a little bit, and it obviously was in my head all the time. And right around that time, we had thrown our first event, the first one where it was like by happenstance, happened to do really well. And by the time we did our second or third, there was like this toilet backup or something like that, or the toilet next door to the venue that we were at blew up or something like that, and it smelled like absolute dog shit, and we couldn't access it because it wasn't the toilet inside that venue. It was the toilet across from the wall, and the smell came over, and I was like, my night is fucked. Like, I'm really grateful for the people that are here. And it's midnight, like everyone wants to be outside, like no one wants to see the DJ. Like, this is not good. Like, you know, we have someone who's endorsed by, at the time, like I said, Steve Aoki was a client at the social media thing. And so obviously we were close enough with that team to be like, you know, don't fuck it up if you're hiring someone who's a friend or like a protege of Steve Aoki or Dim Mak Records or whatever, right? And so my way of thinking on my feet was to call in pizza, basically. And it was like the smell of the pizza wafting through as I like paraded in is going to bring some people back to the dance floor, and we're going to have a little moment. And we did have a little moment. Yeah. Like, people came in, and the photography that came out of that exact moment, I think, became one of the pieces of DNA that kind of like lasts to this day. And now I think the story we have attached to the pizza ritual, which we still do, is like, it's like, thank you guys, like, for sticking around. You know, nowadays we do it like always in the last hour of the show. So the show ends at 3. We'll do it like 1:30 or 2. And it's just a thank you. Like, you were here for 3+ hours when you could have been doing literally anything else. And here's some pizza, especially if you're in the front row. We don't buy enough pizza for like the whole club, but like definitely for those who want it in the front row.
I've seen people fight over pizza.
Oh yeah.
Either fight over pizza, or I remember the first time when you were like, here, dude, pressure's on. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, wait a minute. You know, such a high pressure moment. Now you gotta hand out pizza. You're like, let me teach you a technique. I'm like, there's a technique to handing out pizza.
You gotta hold it.
And I did not listen to you. I didn't. The way I held it,
did you bomb it?
I was like, this motherfucker. He's over there trying to teach me a technique about holding pizza.
Yeah.
And then I'm walking out. And as I'm walking out, somebody takes a slice of pizza, right? I'm like, okay, one. The next slice of pizza that somebody grabs, the whole box.
It flips, like, right?
Yeah. It flipped and landed on some girl's hair. Oh, but like, the girl, nobody cared. They grabbed it off of her shoulder. And I'm like,
that's good.
It was crazy. And I was like, okay, maybe he was right about the technique. I never told you because I thought you would be mad at me. But it's hilarious because I still think about it to this day how I bombed it. And I told Pedro about it too at Nocturnal. Like, just recently, I was like, dude, I still remember the day that I fucked up the first pizza thing.
Oh my God.
And he was like, dude, you don't know about the secret technique?
Yeah.
And we were laughing about it. Secret technique. But it was a real thing. And I remember after that, I never really forgot about the technique.
Yeah. I feel like it only happens once. Or if you happen to be lucky enough to pass out pizza multiple times.
And the poor girl too, she was just kind of like drunk. But everybody's just swarming her for a slice of pizza.
Drunk and greasy. Probably the most action no, I'm just kidding. Most action. I was about to say most action she got all day, but
no, definitely not. with the guy to girl ratio in Exchange LA, like I'm sure there was more action than.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I try to stay out of that.
It's okay. Yeah, but it's fun talking about that stuff now, especially looking back at it. And you know, I don't want to. I know you told the story for too many times, but partying in general for me. And I'm going to switch gears a little bit.
Yeah.
But partying for me, if I would have never discovered partying, like, and I would have never discovered the chaos that was just like either raving or going to clubs, you just never knew how your life was going to, you never knew how the night was going to pan out. I don't think I would be who I am today.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah.
Can you imagine yourself without a life of partying? What would you be like just without it?
I'd probably do like, have you ever heard of like the kind of stereotypical Asian route? Like stable jobs and engineer, something that's quiet, not really in the public eye. Super stable, super high paying, and there's a clear pathway to how to get there. You just got to get there. So not to be demeaning, that's kind of like probably a way a lot of people look at it. It could have been that. And at some point, I think it was me in college discovering drugs and partying. That was like, I want to make a life out of this. You know? I always had that itch, and I did get that like cool marketing agency job at the time, but that itch did persist, and I was like, maybe this is the time, you know. So no, in that, yeah. I think it's critically changed my life for sure, and I'm glad I didn't like crash out entirely. You know what I mean? I've had ups and downs for sure, but
Right.
like, you know, I've recently entered an age where, not to be somber, but it is real to see people kind of like give in to their drug habits, and let it kind of control their life in ways where my external judgment would be like, I feel like it's lost potential and whatnot. And I've done my fair share in partaking in it. I've done my fair share of like making joke, like people know about this. Like I joke about it. I joked about it online as like a way to cope with just the sheer presence of it around, not even just me, just like you're going out till like late hours. Like, you know, there's going to be stuff like that. And like, that's what that ended like that, you know, it is there,
Yeah.
you know, it is there. Is it forced upon you? No, but is it?
No.
It's definitely there. So you know, I've definitely kind of changed the way I interact with it. I think it, you know, now that I'm like sort of entering my unk era,
Yeah.
quote unquote. I think it's nice to be a little bit more sparing and careful about like those drug jokes. I think it could come off a little like, you know, poor form, and also just
form.
not the type of person I want to be for people who might be listening to what I have to say, you know? So, but yeah, back to like what you're saying, it's like, I think it changed my life for sure. I mean, it's made me learn how to survive doing something. There's no like rule book on
There's
something.
no
like,
rule book. You don't have an HR for like.
yeah, there's no accounting certificate to get your CPA and to become the best Asian accountant in the world, you know? Like, you just kind of figure it out.
Unless you want to be, there's no there's like no bachelor's degree for like partying, you know. You can't become
exactly.
You can't have become a master.
We made it.
Partying.
We made the synopsis. Yeah.
Space Yacht is handing out the first degrees in partying. Like, this is how you're supposed to do it.
We can't be the only ones. There's you know, I think we are in our pocket, but like, you know, can't be the only.
But I just talk about it way too much, because right now like I'm just about to turn 30, and I feel like I'm in my unk era, where I only have like 3 solid good times a year where I just go ham, right?
Yeah.
And but without drugs, I think I would not have a personality. I would not be cool. I just wouldn't develop into the person that because before I started partying, I was just super square.
Yeah.
And the minute I started partying, suddenly people started liking me. Suddenly I just became different.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool.
I have a take on that. I agree, and I want to expand on it. And I do actually have like I'm on a mission, you know. I actually do think it's not to celebrate doing drugs. It's not to celebrate alcoholism. But it is to mark the importance of going out and having like, I'm going to use the word vulnerable, but it's not like the therapy vulnerable. It's like doing things with your friends that, you know, when you get drunk, you enter a state where you're like, you're uninhibited. You sometimes say embarrassing things and you feel it vulnerable, right? Or you get in a situation where you're like, your bro needs to help you out and you're like so embarrassed. Those are vulnerable experiences, right? So I actually do think there is an importance of like, you know, I guess my audience when I say this is like a young person who's like, you know, starting to what we used to mark as like go out era, like 18 to 24 or whatever. But to have like formative experiences with your friends, it could be with friends of friends or whatever, but like some of those also need to be embarrassing. Some of those need to be like, oh my God, did that guy like the chisme of like, oh my God, did that guy try to hit on me or whatever? Like these are things that create like lifelong bonds with like your homegirl or homeboy or whatever. And if you're not going out to have those, then like the next best thing you have is your phone. Yeah. And like, you know, I guess some things could get done in the phone, but it's not life. That's not real life, you know, in my opinion. And so that's my take. I just want to say that.
I think it's accurate. Like, I think it's more, it's like those are character building moments. Without
Yeah.
them, you know, because majority of things I do in my life now are I backtrack, and I'm just like, okay, like I have all this experience in dealing with women, so to say,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
I've had so many
I'm
girlfriends,
sure you do.
so many girlfriends, or so many, you know, whatever the case may be, where it's like now that I'm hitting my own era, I'm just
Yeah.
like I can, you know, selectively choose what I want to deal with and what I
Sure.
can't.
Yeah.
Before I'm just like, oh, you know, this beautiful girl wants to put me through hell. This is normal.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. Like when you're going out and you're being social, you're able to kind of just select these life moments that happen to you, and whether they were bad or good, you can be like, okay, I think that I'll deem that more fitting for my life now.
Yes.
Mm.
I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah,
Honestly.
and that's what I always go back to. Like if I would have never partied, if I would have never went through like the bad moments, if I would have never took it too hard on drugs, if I would have never, you know, had that blackout moment, like I wouldn't really know how. A lot of people are figuring out their life in their 30s. You know, and I'm still figuring out life.
Yeah.
But I think the more social part of it, the more social aspect, and the more learning experiences that I really value were in my early 20s when I was just fucking it all up.
Yeah. I'm really here for the you know, the the point where like we're just rejecting the digital experience so hard that like the bounce back of in real life experiences is just going to be the most glorified thing of all time. I don't think we're there yet, but we're pretty close.
Do you feel like social media is kind of...
Yeah, it's like, you know how people say, or what are you about to say? Social media.
Do you feel like social media is kind of like ruining?
Yeah. It's so like, I've been using the word bot recently. It's just so like bought out, you know, it's just been so compromised.
Right.
And it's all advertised up, and I think the underlying thing is it's like it's not, you know, it's not real now. We used to just have to remind everyone it's not real, but now I think people just know. Like you didn't need me sitting here to remind you to know that this shit is not real.
Yeah.
You know, we're already there. But I don't think it's like I really want that critical mass of like when people are just like, fuck this, fuck all of this, and we're gonna do, you know, secret parties with invites with postcards, you know, like no digital flyers. It's a handwritten note on like a postcard.
I think it's gonna happen.
That'd be so hard.
I think it's gonna happen again. I think the AI bubble and just technology in general is gonna burst eventually.
Yeah.
Soon, actually. I've had like this theory about how it's gonna burst. And a lot of things are just gonna be word of mouth again.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of things are just gonna be more, you know, 90s, 80s era.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could have lived in that time and experienced it. But
I would have liked to try some cocaine in the 80s.
I talk about this all the time.
I met someone who has from a family pass down or whatever, a bottle of Quaaludes.
Oh wow. So like Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street vibes. Yeah. I've never taken one, and maybe I never will, but I am curious.
I would absolutely do it.
You would. Yeah.
I don't think there's a thing that I wouldn't do.
What are you doing after the show?
Well, we are here in the Blackout building.
For sure. I love it.
But yeah, like I always think about the 80s and how there was no phones.
Yeah.
You know, if you were doing...
Wasn't the 80s when you had the bricked up phone?
No, that was the 90s.
90s? Oh shit.
Yeah, I think that one released in like 93.
Yeah.
And you were like really rich if you had that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But even then, like you weren't calling up your friend on the brick phone like, "Hey, come to Pasquale's first rave."
What do you think they were doing then?
Passing out notes. Or, "Hey, here, look, call this phone number," and then...
Oh, for raves.
Yeah. Or just in general partying. And even if you're trying to sell drugs, like you had to know a guy who knew a guy who knew a guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But that guy had like some of the greatest shit ever, because you know that they were not doing this whole mixing thing.
If we could get you an OG raver like you allude to on this podcast, I would. Let me put in a vote. Like I would love for you to do that podcast.
Interview an OG raver.
Yeah,
dude, that would be.
They're probably in their 60s now.
That would have to be a 3-hour episode, because I could go on and on forever about the culture.
For
and
sure.
It's incredible.
I would love to see it.
Dude, I'm still a party guy at heart. Like I think about like. I'm always happy, and I'm glad that I was never like super uber successful and had a lot of money and access to things in a young era, because like I feel like in
Yeah.
my 30s, like I keep having this reoccurring dream that it's gonna happen. Right, I'm just gonna become rich.
You you say it like you're not able to do that.
Right,
but
right, okay, okay, right,
yeah.
right. But like I feel that's when my best days are, in my 30s, like in my 40s.
Yeah.
Have you
Everyone
ever
has
felt
told
like
me
that?
that the 30s are actually
The
bomb.
best, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that. Once I hit my 40s, then I'll be like, maybe I'll have a different purview. My gut is that 30s is like you have the money to afford the experiences
Right, that's
and
the way to put it. Yeah.
rites of passage that you wanted in your
Mm-hmm.
20s, and they're all connected. Like you probably worked towards them. And I'm speaking in broad generalizations, so fuck me if I'm wrong. But my gut is like in your 40s, like the immense weight of responsibilities of life just come raining down upon you, or something like that. I don't know. I'm not in my 40s, so. But that's what my guess would be.
You still look like you're in you're 21.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I get late 20s the most.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
but
at
I'll
least
take it.
25, 26.
Yeah, but now you can't deny it because it's like there's white hair. So
I didn't even.
I just
notice.
think a lot. That's what I like to say.
Yeah.
I just think a lot. No, I'm pretty open about my age. It's not. Do you ever feel like there's like an ageist problem in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, obviously for women, but in general, I actually think it applies.
I think
to
more
everyone.
for women than it would be for men, because the dynamic to me is the more older you are as a man, and if you're like very attractive and you still have your good facial structure, and obviously Hollywood, a lot of the guys get like work done, but the older you get, I think it's more socially acceptable
To
and-
get work done.
No, just to be older.
Oh yeah,
You know, like if you're a good looking older man, like 45, 50
kind of
years old.
favors good looking old men.
Right.
Yeah.
And then with the women, it's kind of just like not in a way.
I think life unfortunately just favors good looking people. Not that
Yeah,
it's me. It's
I
not.
agree.
Well, it might be, but
I've always felt like the more good looking you are, the more doors will open for you.
yeah, it's so weird. It's kind of fucked.
You could be the biggest blockhead, not know much, but if you're good looking, a lot of people will want to talk to you.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked.
That was kind of my whole idea on why I had to lose 40 pounds.
So how do you feel? You want to walk me through that saga?
Yeah, of course. When I was pretty much 200 pounds, 198.
Yeah. How tall are you?
5'6".
That's pretty over index, right?
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
last time. Well, I like to add in the half.
Yeah.
Depending on what shoes I'm wearing, I'll be 5'7", right?
Yeah.
But I was 200 pounds. That's not supposed to be a thing
Right.
by any health metric. So it got to a point where I was just drinking so much. I was partying so much, doing a bunch of cocaine.
Was it because you were big backing or?
No, it was just a part of it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was lifting a bunch
You were a
of
tank.
weights.
You were a fucking tank.
I was a tank, dude. Like I was a tank. I could bench press 315,
Yeah,
for
tank for
reps.
sure.
Like
Yeah.
I felt like that was my greatest era, right?
Yeah.
And it got to a point where I was having like legitimate health issues,
Yeah.
and now it's not funny. Now, like, yeah, you got big biceps, but nobody's
At what cost?
really gonna care about those biceps if you have a stroke or you get heart disease, and now you're suddenly bedridden and you can't do things.
Yeah.
So I had to switch up a lot of things at the beginning of the year. So like around January, the diet had to drastically change.
Yeah.
I sleep less. That's just because I work so much, but the diet had to change because of that. No longer could drink. So like it would have to be strategic. I couldn't just
right now.
this is strategic. I haven't
Yeah.
seen you in how long?
Yeah.
I won't drink again until countdown.
A little wine don't hurt.
Yeah, never.
A little wine don't hurt.
The food, like just all overall, like I couldn't just be lifting weights. I had to be doing cardio. Just a lot of things.
What was the hardest thing to change?
The drugs and the partying and the alcohol. The food
That's a
wasn't
lot.
really the hardest thing.
The food was.
I'll be honest with you. That's like everybody's hardest thing because everybody loves food. But
Yeah.
my thing was I couldn't eat anything without feeling bloated or my stomach really hurting. So it was like an easy decision for me to be like, okay, let me find something that doesn't bloat me and just stick to that. Monday through Friday now, I kid you not, my diet consists of rice cakes and just chicken. I can't even eat white rice because white rice will legitimately bloat me and make me feel
Like that's always been a thing.
yeah.
Certain foods will bloat you.
Yeah, certain
Okay.
foods. So that was easy. And now all I do is just drink water. Like I have like 17 bottles of water.
Water's the goat.
Water's great.
Water's the best.
But
yeah.
before it was, I'm going to eat, all this processed food because, it's just easily accessible to me. I'm going to eat a lot of sugar. Sugar was the biggest negative component to my life. Salt. I refuse to eat anything that's super salted anymore.
Yeah.
And alcohol, like all of that just combined was just destroying me.
Were you just kind of like keeping like the liquor store alive, like that kind of snack?
Yeah.
It's like salty snack, sweet snack. Yeah.
Me and my current girlfriend, we could never hang out and not drink.
Oh.
And we could never hang out and just have one drink. And we came to the table one day and we were like, do we like each other because we kind of encourage all of our demons that we have?
Right.
Or do we like each other for each other?
Wow, that's pretty self-aware.
And we both talked to each other and we were like, let's quit. And if we don't like each other sober, then, we can walk away as friends.
And you're still with her?
Yeah, we're still good.
Oh, shit.
She's a little crazy, but that's okay. I think everybody's a little
That's
crazy.
such a self-aware way to like go about it.
It was bad. It was really, really bad because it seems like the worst era is over.
That's good. And she's also kind of weaned off of the
definitely slowed down.
substances. Okay.
Yeah. But now we can actually enjoy it. So if we go out, so we're going to Countdown, right?
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it.
You're
instead of
sobriety. I'm just kidding.
We're instead of being like, okay, we're gonna go out again. Holy shit! I wonder what this fight's gonna be about.
Mm-hmm.
I hope she doesn't swing on me, or I hope, I don't yell at her or accuse her. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it's more we're excited to go out.
Yeah.
We can't wait to have this time together with each other because we haven't really let loose in a while.
That's great. Yeah. And you're not like, I think you were kind of alluding to like, it's not like you're drinking a little bit now. It's not like you're airtight never again in life, right? Which I think that's cool. I think that's a cool way to go about it. Like you're in control. It seems like you're in control.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Well, cheers to that.
Yeah, I know. You were
top up now, mate.
I don't really want to hold you off for too long. You were gonna go for it.
Yeah.
But before, like, I have pictures of it too, and I'll show you.
Yeah.
Like, my stomach was insane, and no matter how hard I tried to like suck it in, it wouldn't go in. And then my doctor was like, he said it to me just in the kindest way, as like a bro. He was like, "Dude, you need to stop."
Yeah.
He said it in a way where like you don't expand like normal people do when they gain weight. It's like you don't build visceral fat in areas. Your problem is your heart's just gonna stop one day. It's not gonna be a buildup, over time.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I need to stop.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how long ago was that?
January. So January, I had like I got my blood work checked just recently too, and it's been incredible. But January was when it was like the wake up call where I needed to lose a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
I was on the Stairmaster every day doing like 3 hours of Stairmaster.
Yeah.
Just kind of going super ham.
When you're in that kind of physical / mental state, what's the highest marker that's bad? Is it like the cholesterol or?
It's the cholesterol. The cholesterol and the arteries.
Okay.
Because I was still pretty busy, so I was working, even now I work like 70 to 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
Right? Trying to get into law school and stuff. But back then it was even worse because I didn't have, everything that I have now.
Yeah.
It was more like I need to have it. So the stress combined with all of the stuff that was happening with my health, it was more the arteries.
Yeah.
They were really, really afraid that just one day I would just have sudden heart failure.
Yeah, fuck. Was like the, what do you call them? The Wegovy shit? Was that ever in your periphery?
No, not for them. No, they put it on the table.
Yeah.
And I have a really, really close friend of mine that's like he owns a lab for like peptides and stuff. And what they were trying. So initially I said like, am I diabetic? They said no. Am I pre-diabetic? They said no.
You had to quiz them like that? They wouldn't just
Yeah,
tell you?
yeah. I'm very like, so I don't know if I ever told you, but I had like surgery inside of my face in like 2022. So they had to like
What?
take tumors out.
Oh.
So I was on top of that too. Like my doctor had no clue what was going on. Right.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, one of the doctors was like, you just need to blow your nose. It's like, yeah, I'm switching my doctor. And the next doctor was like, yeah, we don't know what's going on. So we'll give you just a spray. Maybe it'll go down. And the third doctor was like a Kaiser doctor. And she was a surgeon. And I was just like grilling her. I didn't let her even say anything when I had this checkup.
Uh-huh.
And she was just like letting me just, I think this is what's going on. Like, you need to check this. We need to do this scan. And she was just like, she just smiled. And she was like,
you know your
how
shit.
does June 21st sound?
Oh.
And I was like, for what? And she was like, you know exactly what's wrong. And I was like, are you like being sarcastic? And she was like, you're exactly right. And she told me, she's like, we're going to do some scans.
Yeah.
If you're right, I'll see if I can get you something sooner.
This is like the ultimate
But I
dark
swear,
arts.
like I was like,
dark arts
I
medical
was on
baddie.
top of it. And then when the scans came back, she called me in. She was like, you were right. So
Damn.
let's do it. And she's like, I know, I've done thousands of these procedures. Like, let's do them. Let's do it for you. And then that changed my life for sure, because what was happening, I would fall asleep and I would stop breathing for a minute.
Whoa.
We had to do sleep tests. So they gave me a machine to like monitor these sleep tests. It connected to Wi-Fi and all that. So they were monitoring it. And what would happen is I would fall asleep and I would just stop breathing for like a whole minute.
Does that mean you were just doing that at home and you didn't even know it?
Yeah. So I would have problems waking up. I wouldn't have problems going to sleep because I was just always chronically tired. And then when they did the surgery, my life just changed.
You were breathing for real. Wait, so what happened after like the minute? Like you just do you chortle yourself awake? Okay.
Yeah, just like that.
Damn. And it was some like masses on your.
Yeah, and they
sinus.
removed them. It was crazy.
Damn.
Like, I don't have the pictures anymore. I'll have to get them from my iCloud. I'll show you them someday.
Yeah.
But they were like quarter sized. And I was blind in one eye for a while.
Because it's swollen, or
Yeah, so I could only see from half of like the top of the eye.
Oh shit.
And then the other one was just like really, it wasn't touching the eye, so I could see out of that one.
You know how you get the heebie-jeebies?
It was bad, and you know what didn't make it any better? Was the cocaine.
And had you done it since?
In 2022, I was going ham.
Right before this.
Right before the surgery. And she told me too, she's like, you do a lot of drugs. And I was
Oh,
like,
she could tell?
Yeah, she could tell.
Oh.
Just from the damage of like how my nose was.
Really?
And she was like, you do a lot of drugs. So they had to completely just remove the masses.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
A lot of people don't know about that.
I'm glad you're here to tell the story. That's good.
Because they were afraid that I was just going to stop breathing.
Yeah. Damn. There's yeah.
But that's what sparked the change.
For
that
sure.
combined with, I was just gaining too much weight.
Yeah.
And now I feel better.
Yeah.
So I got with one of my friends. He owns a lab.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, have you ever heard of peptides?
Is GLP-1 a peptide?
Yeah. There's a few. It's like you have a singular agonist, double agonist, triple agonist.
Walk me through it.
Yeah. So there's so Ozempic is essentially a singular agonist. It will attack basically like your insulin levels and then glucagon.
Yeah.
You have your double and then you have your triples. One of the ones, there's like tirzepatide and there's retatrutide. There's a bunch of them. Okay. Retatrutide was the one that I kind of like got on, and it pretty much, it's a hormone. It gives you more. It's like there's a hormone receptor like that you stop producing as you gain more weight.
Okay.
So the triple agonist just kind of like amplifies that in a way where it's not detrimental to, like your glucagon levels and insulin levels. So you'll never go blind. Obviously it's varies from person to person. Like, right. I wouldn't suggest it for somebody who's diabetic. I would suggest more of, on Ozempic, but retatrutide was the one that helped me a lot, like
Okay.
significantly. It completely killed my desire to drink. It completely killed my desire to do drugs. It completely killed my desire to be angry. It's odd. And before that, I had no self control, and I did my blood work and everything. And the doctor was like, "Your blood work is fantastic. Like, what have you been doing?"
Be hitting the peptides.
And I told him, I was like, "I've been hitting the peptides." He's like, "I wish we could have gave you that, but it's not. A lot of them are not FDA approved."
I see.
But luckily, I had a friend that owns a lab, and he walked me through all of it.
Yeah. Like, do you need to take it now, or do you take it?
No,
now?
now I don't. Like now I don't need to take it. Will I ever take it? Because I've talked about doing steroids in the future. Absolutely. I'm pretty open about it.
You would think about doing steroids in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. But not anything like super hectic. Because I always said in my 30s, if I'm super busy, I would get on steroids just to kind of do like a testosterone replacement therapy.
I see.
Not necessarily get jacked and be on like horse tranquilizer and shit like that. But I would like to maintain my testosterone levels into
Is TRT and doing steroids, aren't they different?
They're different.
Okay.
So testosterone replacement therapy,
you're taking exogenous testosterone.
Yeah. But we all produce it, right?
Right.
Taking steroids like, let's say, Trenbolone or Masteron or Sustanon, those are things that we don't produce, and they're meant to enhance us in a way that's just otherworldly, non-humanly.
You're ready to become a cyborg.
100%.
Well, in a way.
At least the testosterone part.
Is that motivation born out of like, I'm going to hit my 30s, life is going to be busy?
I just didn't want to slow down.
Okay.
But I know
That's
that
fair.
if you're as males, like our testosterone levels kind of drive everything. If we're not at like a 500 to 800, we're going to struggle a lot. And
you know your T number?
80% of males in America currently, because of the diet that we have, the lifestyle that we choose, they're below 500. Those are dangerous levels.
Do you know your T number?
Absolutely.
What's your T number?
Now it's 838.
All right. That's good. That's good, right? Okay.
But before it was 512. So in January it was 512. Now it's 838.
How do you feel at 512 is like middle or pretty low?
512 is like hitting dangerous levels.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So you never want to get into the threes.
I was in the 8s in 2022, I think. That was
The last time you checked it.
And then recently I checked it again. But since then I got pretty educated on like endocrine disruptors, like the scented candles, microplastic. I mean, everyone's educated on microplastics today, but I'm back at 1,000.
Wow.
Not taking external T.
Really? Do you know how impressive that is? Like to have that?
I went on a fucking crusade, like lifestyle crusade.
Right.
Like I didn't know lavender. Check my facts. Anyone who's listening, please check my facts. But like scented, you'll hear other people say scented essential oils, scented things, especially synthetic scents,
right?
Mess with your hormones, like endocrine disruptors. I actually have a hot take. No medical professional has said this. So once again, check me on it and go do your own research. But I actually think the realm of like PFAS, microplastics, or like hormone affecting like external chemicals that are in our environment, everywhere in the environment today. I've been using the word feminizing.
Right.
So yes, they disrupt the hormones of women too, and men as well. But for men, it increases your like estrogen levels, decreases your testosterone, feminizes you. For example, a silly example would be like a male teen going through puberty would still kind of look like a boy, while the same endocrine disrupting, microplastics or pollutants have a similarly feminizing effect on women. But feminizing a woman simply means when you're going through puberty as a girl in a world full of microplastics and endocrine disruptors, you simply look like a 21-year-old at 13.
Yeah.
Which I'm not the first one to say that, right?
Yeah.
And once again, go check your facts on it. That's just what I think. It feels like Joe Rogan, where you're platforming someone with with
I'm only,
like
dude,
a silly alt opinion. You know
look,
what I
I'm
mean?
only platforming what works for me, right?
Yeah.
And we're just having a discussion as two men because obviously we're going through it.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's just very important to have these conversations because when you're in your early 20s and 21, 22, you can get away with so much.
For sure. That shit doesn't count looking back. Like you're like invincible,
Yeah.
you know, and you're on some other shit. But I do think what is true and what is agreeable is like there is a need to clean up our shit. And so for me, that was like I expunged all the like fuck the candles. Like who
Yeah.
cares about the romance or whatever scent it is. I unfortunately rent a place that has carpet, but I like if I had my own, like if I
Hardwood.
could, I would rip out all the carpet.
Right.
I have the silly like the box fan with the cheapest HEPA filter. It's called a MERV 13 or MERV 4. Like they're the numeric grades. Go get yourself like a.
Oh, so you're going all in.
Yeah, they're on 24/7, just filtering the air and. For me, it's less so that I want the clean air. It's that I just don't want to be breathing in microplastics 24/7. And then I'm just like fiber first on every meal. I need to talk to you about the peptides thing because I'm hoping I want to kill my nicotine habit.
Dude, I've
smoking
gotten
habit.
my entire family on it.
I need to
I have
completely.
employees that like are a
shed
little
that.
heavier set, and at the airport, and they came to me and talked to me, and they wanted to make lifestyle changes. My stepdad's gonna get on them. My aunt. I think if you're well educated and well informed, at first it's a little taboo. People are like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, it always seems like people are doing steroids, right?
Oh, like you're walking into a sketchy
Right,
lab
right,
to get
right.
something.
But it's not. If you have I have a very reputable source. Very grateful. There's a lot of gray market things where people don't know what they're getting. But
Drug dealing is out, peptide dealing is in.
I'm very
go.
grateful to have an American-made source. And,
Yeah.
You know, I'm not putting anybody on to some crazy shit.
What's the street knowledge of like what's a bad peptides? It's fake or like
The street knowledge is almost 90% of peptides now are created in China, and
okay.
the vials that they're made in and are shipped in over here, they contain a lot of bacteria. So let's say the lifespan of a peptide is 60 to 90 days after reconstitution from powder to liquid. That diminishes and it shortens with the bacteria that comes from China.
Oh.
So if you have a 60-day, lifespan for your peptide, that goes to like 2 weeks, and the bacteria kind of takes over the peptide that you reconstituted.
Oh shit.
So a lot of these gray market, it's hot right now, it's trendy. So a lot of the gray market, companies that you'll see on TikTok and here, there, they're selling a bunch of stuff, and they're kind of like leading a lot of people into like a path where even then their peptides are not, they don't have the purity that they need to be at. Then you mix in the bacteria. So
how do you even like take a peptide? Do you shoot it?
yeah, insulin syringes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I'm that ignorant about it.
Well,
Like,
there's
I'm
several
not
different
even
ones too.
joking.
Like I was taking a nootropic one for a while for
Okay.
brain productivity. It was a Russian one that they would give individuals that had strokes
Okay.
and seizures. So they would give it to them, and that worked for a little bit, but it kind of made me too wired, and I had to stop taking it.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Are we gonna be put on a list by talking about this?
No. Of course
on
not.
air? Okay.
Dude, if they're talking about on TikTok, you're fine.
Oh, I see. I'm good at not being on TikTok. I'm just not.
I'm not. I
I'm
love
not on there,
TikTok.
period.
I want to be famous on TikTok someday.
Are you cutting clips? Because I saw you had a viral
Yeah.
or actually a viral clip.
That one
from
went
this.
extremely viral.
Yeah.
With that restaurant, and we were supposed to. That's why I had reached out to Zeus, and I had told him like if we could travel and do a podcast, because that one blew up
Yeah.
like crazy.
What's the scoop? I mean, it's a barbecue spot.
It's a
right?
barbecue spot.
Yeah.
Incredible. Like I'm not tooting a horn for marketing purposes. I went to that place, and just the atmosphere alone is great. And then you have like the actual barbecue where it's just fantastic. Like if you've went to Austin, Texas, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever had Cherry Blacks?
Yeah.
I would put it above that.
What?
I would put it above Cherry Blacks.
Shit. It has like 1 million followers. It's
Yeah.
just been legit.
Just
I was ignorant to the whole
they
thing.
They started in 2020 as a coffee shop, converted to
What?
barbecue and Hemet, like in a previous location, 2023, and then they just recently moved to the spot in Marietta, and it just blew up.
Wow. And it's like strictly quality of work.
Quality.
Damn.
The lines are long now.
Yeah.
Like insanely long, but it's so worth it when you go.
Damn.
Yeah, just I know, again, maybe I'm like expert promotional marketing.
You went.
Well,
What are you saying? You went out of your way to mention them?
No. I wanted to talk about it because we were randomly talking,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to talk about it because I feel like you don't get that many genuine experiences anymore. The first time we went, they were just like open arms, like, you know, how can we, you know, can we get this for you? And I was like, the line's long, dude. Can, you know, we want more macaroni and cheese, right? Because one of my friends, you know, liked it.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, I got you on the house.
Really?
That's why I felt compelled, because I was like, you know what? Like, instead of making me wait through that entire line, they just brought it to me.
Oh, you're saying once you had already sat down,
and I didn't talk about it on the podcast. I didn't anything. They were just that friendly.
That's cool. Shout out. What's it called again?
Destination Smokehouse.
Yeah. Did they do the kind of like try to keep you entertained while you were in line waiting kind of thing?
Yeah, just kind of walk you through. His name's
cool.
like Jack. He just kind of informs you on how to order.
That's cool.
Everything comes a la carte. Make sure you know what you want.
Yeah.
No, we don't do substitutes. He's just kind of really friendly about it, though.
I like that. They know that signals that they know what they're getting into.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
Shit. Well, I got to make the whatever hour
You do.
drive.
Maybe the next Nas event.
Actually, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one for
there.
sure. Well, I'm teetering on whether or not I should get my snowboarding like icon pass this year. And I don't love Big Bear, but like, you know, it's just like a smaller park. It's a smaller mountain, but that could be a thing.
I'm actually gonna buy a cabin there, like in Lake Arrowhead.
Let me
Right
know.
below it,
I will
Big
be
Bear.
calling you all day, every day to rent that cabin.
You can stay at it, whatever you want to do.
All right.
Dude, just see how it all just works out.
It all just works out on the podcast. Let's go. Yeah.
I'm happy you're on the podcast. I knew this was gonna be a great one because it feels like every time we talk, even though let's say we're always coked out when I see you. At least I am.
I'm not. Just so you know, I'm not right now. If you're,
no, that's fine.
Okay.
But whenever we're partying,
yeah. We've definitely had
like the last time we partied at your house, I definitely was. But those are the greatest conversations, and then we'll always like follow up, and you'll be like, "Damn, we talked about a lot." Like, kind of remind me what we're talking about again. I was like, "Oh, all right."
Yeah.
But it's different to do it in a more formal setting like this because I feel like it's kind of gold.
I know. I think so.
To talk.
I think so. Back to that coked out conversation. I mean, look, it's like a trope people, including myself, make fun of. But like in those like juiced up moments, you go through so much material, and it's just impossible to like. If everyone were actually 24/7, not 24/7, but like coked out as often as they could be, and took that kind of like hilarious, like, let's start a business, let's start a side hustle, and actually acted on it, like, you wouldn't be able to do it all because you're talking a mile a minute.
Yeah, a mile a minute
on crack, coke. Sorry. Anyway,
but
I've been like, look, I have an admission. I haven't really told anyone this. I told Gunpowder, our friend John Gunpowder. I kind of just stopped initiating hangouts and kind of like giving the runaround for people who I've traditionally hung out with that had it on them or like offered it to me. It's just a lifestyle I want to shed.
It's bad.
And I've phenomenally shed it well compared to like my past self, even like less than a year ago. It's just night and day. But the way I have been going about it, and I'd never like kind of admit this to anyone, was like I kind of just stopped picking up the calls. Or I would do like I'll pick it up real quick and be like, I gotta go. Just text me, dodge the like, hey, you know, the boys' night or whatever. Like, just dodge that stuff. No one's fired as a friend, but it's like I can't make these associations. I can't I don't want to get myself into
Yeah.
these situations. That's all.
It's bad. Like,
Yeah.
I had to learn that really quick.
Yeah.
Is it
I'm
fun
sure.
in the moment? Yeah, sure. But
Yeah.
you start feeling it on the drive home.
Yeah.
And I was driving an hour away from your house, so.
If this podcast blows up, it's a bad time to be a drug dealer.
It is,
We're
because-
on some holy
And it's
shit
okay,
right now.
because until
It's a good time to be a peptides dealer.
Yeah, 100%. Cheers to that, because
Cheers.
until people can go to 98% purity, there's no
Oh,
reason to do them.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Like it's also doctored, you know? Like why would you trust putting that right into like an air canal right by your brain? Like why would you do that?
I learned it
You know?
firsthand.
Oh yeah, like why would you put it right near your like what do you call it, the sensory triangle?
100,
Like,
yep.
that's insane.
Right here. I had 2 massive tumors inside of my nose and inside of my
Yeah.
face. They weren't even my nose. It was like it started in my nose and then went to my face
Yeah.
and right there. And I was like, why am I putting this random white powder?
I know. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Look at us pontificating on, the right way to live your life. Look, we still party, just for everyone that's listening. It's like we still party.
There's
we
nothing
still
wrong
go
with
out.
partying. But I
And-
think just as an adult, and even if you're an early, younger adult, plan them strategically,
Yeah.
because
You know what? Yeah.
it's
yeah.
just, it's not good.
It's just the weight of the world is upon us right now, as we enter our Unk era. Well, let us go fight our battles,
My most
Wow.
productive days
Yeah.
have been this past year, where
That's good.
I just haven't been so drowned in substances, and that's why I'm so on like the whole peptide game and just changing your lifestyle, because dude, if it weren't for any of these like lifestyle changes and just peptides in general and just having these self-aware conversations with my girlfriend and my family and just being like, hey, like this is what I have to remove myself from,
Yeah.
I don't know where I would be, because I have friends and all, I bless them.
Yeah.
I just wish some of them would get out of their own habits,
I feel that. Yeah.
but it's harder for others.
I think so. Yeah. See, I guess some people like, I don't know. I feel like this is an old topic, but it's like people move to LA wanting to chase some sort of Hollywood adjacent
Yeah.
lifestyle, and it's almost like these like side quest actions that are, of course, all of it is nefarious,
Mhm.
right? These little like dirty little slutty little side quests that you go on. It gives you that dopamine hit, but it's not the result you want. Like
Right.
if you want to be in entertainment or entertainment adjacent or whatever it is you're dreaming of, like, yeah, go hang. But like, I don't know if it's, well, actually though, maybe it is hitting the Benjamin with the casting director of whatever Netflix. Maybe it is doing a line. I don't think so, but I would hope not. I don't want that to be the reality, but
It varies from person to person.
yeah.
That's why I'm
yeah.
glad like the agencies kind of denied my applications, because
Don't make it the norm. Actually,
Yeah.
that's the walk away from this. I can't end the conversation in that note. Like it's like don't make
it
that
the norm.
Yeah,
Yeah, just realize that it's an addition,
yeah.
but you need to
totally.
be able to remove that addition.
Yeah. So with this podcast, podcast with this podcast, are you juicing like the Opus AI TikTok clips? Like
No, I
how it
wouldn't.
like cuts.
Yeah.
perfect moments
I
and
just
all that?
kind of do them all myself.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just kind of, like we'll sit in here and have a conversation, and I'll leave here and I'll know exactly what to kind of like cut
Yeah.
and what I would want to cut.
Yeah.
But I don't really use too much artificial intelligence for that. I use it for other things,
Yeah.
but not for that.
I kind of have a mental note of like, yeah, we had some cool.
Yeah.
This could be a good 15 seconds.
Yeah.
It's weird to be like, we plan life around like, oh, this would be a good 15 seconds. Like it shouldn't be like that. But it's really reshaped. Have you heard, like I was about to say, it's really reshaped the way we approach and like handle life in general.
Mm-hmm.
But have you heard this complex where like in the Instagram heyday, like when it was first coming up, and like photos and photo diaries were like the newest concept in the world, pre vertical video, and the thesis was that Instagrammable food items completely killed off like, you know, there are things that taste amazing but look like shit.
Right.
You know, a lot of Indian dishes, you can't discern what is what, but it's delicious, right? And like, yeah, you can dress it up a certain way, but it pales in comparison to like a multicolored diced peppers and also some diced carrots. It's so colorful, beautiful with flowers and all that. It would rank a little lower in terms of like beauty and excitement, right? But it tastes easily twice as good sometimes.
Yeah.
It's really shaped the way menus are designed, and I'm probably talking on an old topic, but I think now it's all like, I'm now talking about the TikToks and our need to create vertical video to get places with our digital footprint. Like, it's really shaped the way, like, I could even sense myself like compacting things I want to say into, let's keep the interesting thing next, like within a continuous string, and then do the little flourishes after, because that's not substantive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the silly laugh should come after, even though they're real laughs, but it's like, I want to process all my like 15-second window into one thing before I let myself emotionally react to stuff.
That's why when you texted me and you're like, do I need to prepare? How do I need to prepare?
I didn't come prepared. I was more like,
yeah,
adjusting
100%.
the right way.
Like, I thought you were like prepare for, you know.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, there's a lot of things that work and a lot of things that don't.
Right.
But I just always wanted to shape my podcast in a way where it was just a normal conversation between, you know, guest and host or multiple other people.
Yeah.
I get like the whole analogy where it's like we're shaping our life in 15 seconds and 30. It kind of stresses
Might as well
me.
get a hustle out of it.
It just really stresses me out. But,
No, it does too for me.
But yeah, I started taking the podcast more seriously as like a business, and those things came up where they're like, oh yeah, I kind of need this, and that, and I'm like, damn.
What's you know how like I don't know how podcast finance works, but I presume it's like sponsors are a big part of it, like the ad reads.
Yeah, sponsors. You know, if you have a really big podcast, like even the social media money is not that great though. Like even if you get a lot of views, there's like a certain threshold you have to meet before you can start getting paid and all that. It's mainly sponsors.
Yeah. Okay. Someday.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, you just edit that in, right? You just like do the read HelloFresh, or what are the most stereotypical ones? It's like,
yeah, you just
Manscaped.
like, hey, before we start this podcast, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Space Yacht, you know, events.
I ain't got money like that. But maybe one day after this podcast.
It's okay. You guys don't do them on Tuesday no more, though, huh?
Yeah, the Tuesday thing, it was totally a function of like never meant to do it forever. 10 years was a perfect punctuation. And I mean, I personally needed to take a break.
Yeah.
You know, and especially if you're talking about someone who never meant to do this. I ended up giving a decade of my life to that, right? I gained a lot out of it, so don't let me like be all woe is me. But by now it's like, you know, we used to be so jazzed about being the first to do something, and now we're slowly shifting towards, I'm more jazzed about who can do it better.
Right.
Like the rush. I wonder if it's a younger 20s thing to be like that. I can't tell. I'll need to ask someone else, like maybe yourself. We'll talk about it later. But that title, it doesn't hold that much weight anymore. Like now it's like who does it well, who does it consistently. You know, whatever it is, that's how I feel. And after the 10-year mark was like upon our like periphery, we're just like,
who cares?
It's all good. Like Tuesday or not, like I think we held on a little too long to the Tuesday thing. We were like, it felt good to have a home base, and I think we still need that. I think, you know, people are progressively ever so or more so throwing around the word third place. Are you familiar with that term?
I've heard about it.
It's very simple. It's like your first place is your house. Your second place would be like your workplace. And post-COVID, not fuck the COVID thing. Anyway, there is no workplace right now. It's online, right? Yeah. And then your third place used to be the bar, the coffee shop, the quote unquote local watering hole. Space Yacht was that, you know, it was always at this place in Hollywood, more or less the same block. We did move venues, but it was pretty much the same block. always Tuesday, consistently, relentlessly, and fuck what the business people think, like me, right? But for an attendee, it's like it's consistent. I can go out, let loose with some level of granularity, like someone who's a burgeoning producer or someone who really loves EDM that way, someone in hospitality who gets their days off on Tuesdays. That is a legitimate place to go to. And I think we held on to that a little too long. It's like, I'm sorry, guys. Now that I look back, it's like, I'm sorry, guys, but like, I got to do me.
Yeah.
Right. And I think I speak for Rami a little bit too when he was like that. But also at the same time, it's like, we need to survive too. And like, that's probably the least economically interesting part of what Space Yacht does.
Tuesdays.
On at least financially. It's totally not about just strictly finance. It's also like, if I'm burnt out, I can't do this, period, you know? And that's not only is it not what I set out to do, it's just not good for anything. So that's what it was. Would we do a Tuesday show? Sure. Why not? You know, but it's not like
it's on your top of your priority list.
But at the same time, we're throwing plenty of events. So it's like, I have no need to do the Tuesday thing. No one's pounding at the door to do it. Like the people who are like, the older folk of yore who miss it. But is it going to be 1,000 people like it used to be on a Tuesday? Like, not really. So
I think you guys are the first and like only ones to do it, right?
I mean,
there's a ton of, trust me, there's like a ton of people that still do it.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, like there's no.
I think for our like kind of class, quote unquote, and like pocket, I think, you know, now looking back, we're probably, sorry, I know I'm off the mic, but we're probably close enough, if not up there. But it's here's the thing though, I don't claim any titles. I'm just like I am happy to be here. I truly do think I have a sense of
the titles
gratitude
that like anybody gives you, like you just, that's what you earned.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I'll take a title from you all day. Cheers. Yeah.
How much time do we have left, Zeus?
You're already at an hour 18.
Oh wow.
I'll see.
You want to can we do 10 more minutes?
Yeah. Okay. Naturally.
Yeah, I mean, let's end off this like 10 minutes with. Just want to ask you like a series of questions.
Sure.
And just right off the top of your head, you just respond to them in any way that you feel necessary.
Okay.
Okay. If you, Henry, can go back and talk to your younger self, the guy that was working at the agencies.
Yeah.
What advice would you give him?
I actually don't look back to any of these with like a critical change or like look of remorse. I would think the most important thing is like move on faster. When like there are so many times when I felt that things were not 100 or going south or red flags. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like get the fuck out of there or drop it or drop them. Or I had a romantic thing where I just didn't know how to walk away. And I think the altruistic or optimistic person in me was like, hang on, let's make this right. But it's like, you know, I feel like it's easy for me to say now.
Yeah.
But at the time it was like, I had to go through that to learn the painful way. And, you know, I had really hurt a girl from being that way. I had really hurt Space Yacht from hanging on to business relationships a little too long. I don't know if there would have been a way for me to know that, to just like, you know, click your fingers and acquire such a foresight.
Right.
I can say that now, but you know, that's what I would teach my younger self.
Yeah. Okay, I'll lead into the next one. Working in music so long, one of like the things that like just scratches my brain is the idea that when I got into music, plur was a thing.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What would you what would you give the music scene now? Like what would you compare it to? Because peace, love, unity, and respect. Right?
Yeah.
What would you give
to the business people
to the business now? Like what would you consider it now?
Oh, hot take. And I'm just coming up with that as I'm just realizing that as you say it. My gut is plur was born out of like raves were at some point in the past unregulated.
Right.
Like all you had was the people beside you. There was no assumption of safety. There was no, there better be, but things were renegade. Like the way things are called illegal warehouse raves or renegade, there was a point where everything was that. That was the default. And like your code of honor per se was like all you had to have any sort of rave like experience at all. But now it's like, it's not that, bro. It's not that. It's so business optimized. I have a hand in it. That's just the norm now, though. It's not like I can go out and start throwing illegal raves and it'll all of a sudden be like the 90s. That's not how it's going to work. Everything has permanently changed. There are legitimate businesses who exist to optimize, to capitalize on the experience. So be it. I'm not going to sit here to mourn about it, but like, I would say if my audience is the business type is like, especially the young creatives, it's like, don't be afraid to do things that's not capitalistically making sense. Not everything is optimized to the dollar. Like I don't want to be optimized against.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to do some inefficient shit because that's sometimes what's fun, right? Like it's literally the long way. So I don't know. Go do something like that. That's what I would say.
Okay, and the third and last question I will give you. What are you most proud of for yourself, and what are you grateful for the most in your life?
I think I'm proud of myself for sticking it out. And just two questions ago, I was just mourning like how I didn't know how to move on. And there could have been a life where I moved on from this, but like I'm glad it didn't turn out that way. I'm really proud of what Space Yacht has become. I still talk about what it could be in the next 10 years. It's very real. What was the other half of the question?
Okay, so I said most proud, and then what are you more grateful of? Like more grateful for?
Yeah, on the flip side, I'm grateful for the people that stuck around. Like without the trust and like I think back to all the folks that just like gave us a chance, like the Stephen Pahels and like the Jason Hong, like the managers who are like had no reason other than like, I don't know, you're cool or I'll take a chance or I need a favor, let's make it work. I'm eternally grateful for that, you know? And I'm using this a silly two names. It's like 100 names, the venues, the designers, or like even the photographers who are down to like do like a Tuesday rate, like a Tuesday package rate or something like that. And like I don't feel great that like we were just like a struggling party, because it's Tuesdays are just not, or were not just like the biggest commercially viable product in the world. It was cool as fuck for the longest time, but it doesn't mean cool. Cool does not necessarily mean it makes big bucks for everyone involved. Yeah.
That's great. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that this entire podcast transpired into something that I didn't really think it would be.
Fuck yeah.
I'm grateful that we can have conversations. Just like you're grateful for the people that you were involved with over the years. I'm definitely grateful for you.
Oh yeah, appreciate you.
You don't really realize it, but I would hope that someday you would realize that you created a life for me that I'm eternally grateful for.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well,
when I was just that like random little angry looking kid, I had looked for somebody to kind of leech onto, and thankfully Josh introduced me to you. So without you, I don't think I would have the poise and the experience that I've gained through music, and all the favors. You could have asked for several different favors. You could have asked for several different things, but you were just like, here's EDC. Here is this, here's that. And, I'm just grateful for that. And now going into a career where I want to be a lawyer, it's not as cool as music, but those experiences shaped me 100%. And I don't even, I'll be telling my kids that at 50 years old, there was a guy named Henry Lou that just, all he asked for was good companionship.
Yeah, shit. Wow. Yeah, I appreciate that, and thank you. Wow. That really changed my day.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll party soon.
Let's do it. Cheers. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
Thank you for coming.
Wow. That was an hour and a half?
Yeah, pretty much.